Something happened. Oh, okay. I can see you again. All right. This is episode 7 of Impostor Syndrome. And this is Moses Opawumi. Did I pronounce that right?
Yep. Opawumi.
Okay.
Moses Opawumi. Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess just give people a little background on you, what you do in the film world.
Again, my name is Opawumi. I pretty much specialize in action filmmaking. So I usually direct, choreograph, edit my own stuff for the most part, and work on other people's stuff, doing like stunts and things, just helping out. But action, my main forte, to say. So I really
Okay.
like, yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
no, what
sorry.
do you say? No, you can go. You can go.
No, I was just is the delay is there's some
Uh,
latency, and also your videos it froze on your side, but I don't know what happened.
oh yeah, I'm seeing. I don't know. It's the connection. Sorry about that.
It is what it is. This is the dangers of video calling these podcasts.
Yeah.
So I guess just continue on with what you were saying.
No, I just gotta add more into that. Just saying, like, choreography is my main thing. I guess I usually try to choreograph depending on an actor's skill. So, like, you know how most people, I guess, when they write a script, I guess maybe they write it with. They might have one person in mind, but it can be anybody or a couple types of people that can fit that role. I kind of, I guess, write tighter. Usually, I tend to meet and see what they can do and kind of ride around their skills and kind of choreograph their skills. So I guess maybe I can get the best out of them. I feel like, to me, it might be kind of stifling, especially if things don't work out. But to me, I think that's the best way to get the best kind of performance or camaraderie. And like, at least it makes it look like the choreography was made for a person rather than being miscast or choreograph all these moves that I know the person can't do, or having a result to, stunt doubles and things, which makes things even more difficult. So I try to, I guess, choreograph to the person I meet and kind of build around their strengths.
Okay.
Okay. That's how I look at things for the most part.
That makes sense, I guess, because for the people listening, he does a lot more. It's martial arts choreography. Just in case you were thinking maybe it was dance. They might have thought you were talking about dance. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right. Dance could be action.
I guess you could have dance fighting.
Yeah. Step Up is pretty action packed.
Yeah, some capoeira.
Yeah, there was some.
Yeah. But I would imagine that with doing the fight choreography, you have to be so careful so that nobody gets hurt. So that makes sense that you right around their skills, so nobody's doing something that they just shouldn't be doing.
I mean, it's also I don't work with a lot of non-martial artists. I mean, like, recently, I guess I've been asked to help out and I guess choreograph with non-martial artists, but that can be problematic in many ways, I guess, because I don't think a lot of people get that choreography is like a language in itself, and if you don't have the letters to the language, which is like basic styles like karate, taekwondo, just basic styles, you won't be able to put together the language without. So it's like there's a bunch of mixed martial arts fighters, that's big, mixed martial arts, and a lot of times, because these fighters are so big and popular, they're like, oh, let's get them in the movies, and they can't translate because they even might have the letters to translate, but they can't put together the language. So imagine me trying to teach someone without the letters at all and trying to teach them a language of choreography. without them knowing any basics of simple thing techniques, because it's the two different things. And sometimes even if you have one, it doesn't lead to the other. So for someone to have none, it's difficult. But that's a problem that I'm facing, because like a good example is like The Matrix. As you know, like it's common knowledge that most of those actors knew no martial arts, but they had some strengths, they had some athletic ability, which the choreographer saw, and they worked with them for like 9 months. This is not normal. That's not normal, and nobody at this level would give me 9 months to train their actors. And so
Yeah, The Matrix had a budget.
yeah, exactly. But even most things with a budget, nobody gets that kind of time. And how that doesn't that was most people get like 3 months for 4 months, and even that, no, I won't get. People give me like 2 days, and so, or try to make something happen. But
Oh my goodness.
again, like so, to avoid all that, basically, it helps to work with someone with some kind of martial arts background, or if they don't have a martial arts background, dancers are known to be pretty teachable because uh choreography is kind of like a dance in ways. It has some parallels. So,
Yeah,
like
it's essentially the same thing, just
yeah,
different application.
if I couldn't get a martial artist and somebody casted some, I'd be very happy with the dancer, a flexible dancer. I feel like work with that. That's yet to happen to me. I would like to see how I do with that, but I would, I would welcome that challenge.
Hmm.
I'd say.
So we've done 2 films together.
Yes.
Do you have anything else in the pipeline that you're working on right now, or are you just kind of doing stuff for other people?
The moment doing stuff for other people, I haven't have uh I'm still, I don't know if you've seen, I've been working like here and there on these horror shorts. Like I'm very interested in the horror genre at the moment, so I've been trying to mix horror and action, basically. So far,
Okay.
I've pretty much been making one a year. I made one last year, and I made one the year before that. So I'll probably make another one this year. We're still working out logistics and things, and still in the writing phase. But that's those have been my, I guess, pet projects at the moment. So I pretty much test to see what we can do with the genre, and then hopefully, if things go pretty well, I'd like to go bigger and trying to fuse everything I've learned from these tests together, pretty much. But
Okay.
pretty much,
Cool.
it's pretty much, I guess, the gist of these shorts. It all revolves around central, kind of like a supernatural, shadowy, serial killer type martial artist who goes after other skilled martial artists for whatever reason. And I guess I just try to fuse choreography with like just simple horror tropes and see how that plays off each other. Because I feel like that's not done too often. I've seen a couple films like that. Like I don't know if you've heard of the Collector and Collection series.
I saw one of them. I think I saw The Collector.
Collector Collector's the first one. Yeah. Yeah, like
Maybe no. I saw the one with the nightclub.
Collector's in the house.
Oh yeah, I think I
No,
saw
that's
The Collection
Collection.
then.
That's the sequel. That's the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, both those movies I think are very well done. Very well done. And like the killer, he's skilled with the blade and martial arts. He's supposed to be trained. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting the way they do it. Like, and it's like almost like Home Alone, but bloodier because he creates all these traps and stuff, and it's cool. It's cool to see the things you can do with horror mixed with skills and martial arts fighting. I don't know. I thought it was pretty original.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
I guess I don't remember that aspect of it. I probably wasn't paying much attention to it when I watched that
probably
movie.
not. And
Because I
also,
was just paying attention to the deaths.
yeah, if you've seen the first one, it puts a lot of context in it because the sequel is actually a pretty good ending to the first movie.
Hmm.
So the first movie
Yeah,
is
I
like
only saw the sequel.
I'd recommend The Collector. That's the first one. Highly
Okay.
recommend.
All right, maybe I'll check it out soon if I can fit it into. Who turned the heat on in here? Ugh. Perfect timing, because it's not something I can go run away and fix. I don't know why somebody turned the heat on. It's like 60 degrees out.
I don't know why
Sorry.
I'm so frozen, but it's whatever.
um, so what was I about to ask? Oh yeah, so well, I know you're a martial artist. What's your discipline?
Uh, Mainly at this point in my life, I would say I don't train too much for fitness. Well, I should be. I train mostly for film, which like I was explaining but my background is I'm a kicker, so I'm mostly Taekwondo and Tang Sudo, both Korean styles. That's my main basis background.
Okay.
So I like pretty much kicks. I'm a kicker. I do a lot flashy kicks, spin kicks, aerial kicks, that kind of thing. That's my, I would say, strength. Strength is kicks.
You had that one spot in head kick
Yeah,
that scared the shit out of me. Where you did like some jumping spinning kick and like
I, I'm pretty
your,
sure I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, your foot was so close to the guy's face. I don't know
Yeah,
how you did that.
that's the thing. I know my range. With my
No,
right leg, I I would bet my life on my range with my right leg. My left leg, I'm still pretty good with my left leg, but not near as accurate as my right. My right, I know my range very well.
do you have everybody sign out a waiver before you do those things?
No, again, like honestly, like in film, I've hurt very little actors. I can't remember the last time I've really hurt an actor. I get hurt more a lot. I mean, I than anybody else I work with.
Well, I guess it's because you know what you're doing.
Yes,
Although I
pretty
would
much.
imagine it's bound to happen though. It's like kind of like
It is. It is.
law of averages. It's just
But
no matter how
I,
good you are, something's gonna happen.
but yeah, but I guess depending on your experience and depending on how careful you, I mean, that's always in the back of my mind, safety and range. And also it's a big thing, angles. People don't know, I guess if you're at least experienced that for certain angles, you don't have to be that close. Like depending on where the camera is, like you can be a few feet away, do the same punch, and it will still look convincing. That's why
Yeah.
it's always good to have a knowledge of cameras and angles, not just choreography. You kind of have to learn a little bit of everything, I guess, in the film world if you want to be, I guess, successful or just even efficient at what you're doing.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because there's certain. Well, but the thing is that kick we were just talking about, the spinning
Yeah,
one, that was at an angle that was
but think
that was straight on.
it was just that's why I was that close because I mean I did it in two angles, but I'm pretty sure the main angle you saw, because I think I did like a replay of it, but the
Yeah.
main angle it was straight, it was like a two shot, right? Like I
Yeah,
was
so
on the
you
left and
couldn't
he was
have
on the right.
faked it.
Yeah, I was on the left and he was on the right. It's a two shot. If I was far away, obviously you would have saw that. Oh, he didn't kick him, which you've seen many times in many films if they don't know the angles. But I knew I had to get as close as possible. And yeah, I know my range. So yeah, that's why that's why I was that close. And
Oh, it still makes me nervous when I watch that.
yeah, we did another angle where it's his back is facing the camera and it's to me, and I do the same kick, but I guess the other one is just it seemed more effective. But
Mm.
yeah,
Mm. That's definitely interesting. Uh, so are a lot of the martial artists you work with, are they people you've already trained with, like in your dojo, like the dojos you work out of, or do you
no,
just kind of put a call out?
honestly, a lot of it's just networking. Like I would say at this point in my life, I pretty much know a good amount of the indie film artists working in the area, which is I'm in South Jersey, so I would say New York. Like I pretty much like everybody's usually doing their own thing, even some in DC. Like, and we all kind of know each. It's kind of like a small small. It's like an indie thing. It's like a small indie family. So we all kind of know each other. We all kind of work with each other. We all kind of see each other's stuff and know what each other's doing. So a lot of it's just networking. Like a lot of times I walk into a project and I might know half the people. It might be a couple people I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay, let me meet them. Then I might run into those people again, and it just kind of grows like that. It's just like with each project, I guess my network kind of grows. I would say like that. But there's always the same people who I run into that I know from before. So
Okay.
that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah, I gotta get you hooked up with my friend Celia because she does kung fu. She does a lot of she does a lot of that stuff in her film, so she'd be
Yeah,
good to work with.
yeah, definitely message me that sometime later.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her on. She's hard to get a hold of. She's very very busy. So, but
Yeah,
I should be getting her on here soon. So I'll mention you when I
yeah,
have
that
her
works. That
on,
works.
where I have a captive audience with her. Because
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
I am dying in here. I'm sorry, I have to turn the air conditioner on
That's okay.
because I don't know who decided in my house to turn the heat on. So tell me how bad you hear this. Is it very loud?
I can hear it, but I can hear you. So
Okay, because I'm sorry to everybody listening. It's better than me going downstairs to turn the heat off. I
yeah, I
don't
can
know
still hear you.
who the sadistic bastard in my house is that just turned the heat on. And there's no thermostat for it. It's a radiator. So yeah, aside from my complaints about the temperature, we can get back to it. um, so the kind of the point of this podcast is to talk to filmmakers or just people in the film world about like their insecurities and whatnot. So what's kind of like the biggest thing you struggle with in your career? And yeah.
I guess I would say maybe it's not me necessarily. It's maybe it's the more of the way things are or the film world around me. I say what I struggle with is I guess actually it's a couple things. I guess the one is just just relying on people. I guess in my sort of personality is kind of to do things myself, get things done myself, but you can't do that in the film world. In the film world, you need people. Like you have to rely on people for one thing or another. Otherwise, you're a YouTube comedian, basically. Like they can get away with doing the whole thing, being 10 characters themselves, but the stuff I'm trying to do, like you really need people. Like you need people, and people are not always reliable. So like if you're banking on certain people and they let you down, it really can bog down everything. Or it can like I might have so many ideas and want to execute them, but because different people here and there all like commit to doing it and then brush it off like nothing happened, it's kind of like some of those ideas kind of die, go and die and die. Like I feel like if everybody was more reliable, I feel like I could get a lot more done. Or just even just location. Like I feel like South Jersey is just it's not that great of a location for film world in general. So like I said, it's hard to find the right audience to do what I'm trying to do in that location. So I guess that's another new problem. I guess another problem is even when I get into the actual, like, even if I'm surrounded with actual filmmakers and martial artists, things like egos is a huge thing. It's not Hollywood. It's even in the indie level, people have these egos. And you've seen the Steven Seagal film, right?
Bits and pieces. I never watched one all the way through.
Well, yeah, they're not that great. But if you know anything about Steven Seagal, you know that he has a huge ego and pretty much only cares about making himself look great and everybody else looking weak. Like, this guy rarely bleeds. He rarely ever gets hit. And to me, I don't understand how any serious filmmaker can see that as it. Like, there's no tension at all. But yeah, people have these egos where they get a bunch of talented martial artists together and pretty much, I feel like, waste talent. Like, I feel like if you're gonna get martial artists who know what they're doing and pretty talented, I feel like you at least owe them, like, if it's for them to take their time and come to you and help you with your project, I feel like you should help them a bit and get them something that maybe would be reel worthy, something for them to put on a demo reel, something that they can be proud of. But for you, like, sometimes I come across, I guess, actors, martial artists, stuntmen who drive maybe 3 hours to do a film, and they might get like 2 punches in, which miss, and then get shot or something and die, and that was it. And I'm like, I feel like I'm like, why? Like, I feel like I've seen some films. Like, have you seen The Raid?
Yeah.
Like I always find that movie interesting because, like, there's one fight scene which is one of my favorites in the movie. They're fighting in, like, it's like a drug house. There's like coke everywhere.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, these guys, I guess they're like bodyguards or something, protecting the coke or something. All these guys can fight, and it shows them. Like, these guys are like regular drug, and like, if they can do that at that level and make these guys who's dealing drugs and stuff look like high level martial artists and actually show them off that I remember it, I feel like in the indie level with no budget, everybody should be able to show off something. I should be able to get the gist of everybody's talents. But sometimes, like, if I go by what I see, like, in how the way some people utilize people's skills, I might never know. But usually, I think I watch a lot of people. I can see what people do. I guess I can size up a lot of people's skills, I guess, for my own purposes. Cause I always see, like, oh, this person will be cool to work with. They're good in they. That's probably just a couple main issues, insecurities, I guess, I have in the industry. If you understood.
No, yeah, those are definitely. I mean, I know the same struggles
Yeah.
in what I do. I mean, as far as like when I do music outside of film, because in film I'm the one that they're relying on.
Yeah.
But like
exactly.
when I have a project for myself that I'm trying to get musicians for, artists in particular are not the most reliable people.
Yeah.
Flaky. Yeah. But what do you have any like personal insecurities though that are internal that you feel hold you back?
I guess maybe sometimes I think I've always had an issue with maybe directing people on let's say on a higher level. Let's say, like, someone who's like martial arts skills are much higher than mine. I might have some insecurity on directing them. I might feel like, who's this guy directing me? Like, I know all this. I mean, not necessarily, but sometimes I think that's how I feel. Like if I was, let's say me at my level, if I was to direct Jackie Chan or something, I'd obviously be so very insecure because he knows so much, and what I know is, like, I feel like 2% what he knows, and for me to be telling this guy what to do or to be choreographing him, I feel like I got insecurities with that. But not here. But that's just an example. That's an example. But somebody more skilled in martial arts as me, or more experienced in the film world and the martial arts, for me to direct them, like, there's always an insecurity because I feel like they might always be second guessing what I say, you know, even though I'm the director. Because sometimes people have an ego of being director, like, oh, I'm the leader, I'm the big man. You listen to what I say, but it's always good to hear what the, you know, other people have to say because, you know, they could be right. But at the same time, for someone that skilled, like there's just some insecurities there. If I'm, because, you know, if their career is kind of on the line when they do, or their name's on the line when they do a film with you. So if this is somebody who's good and they do a film with you and it's trash, that looks bad on both of us, which I never want to be. I never want to be responsible for that. You know, making someone look bad. So
That makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, so
I could definitely relate to that. Like, well, that comes down to the name of this podcast, Impostor Syndrome, because that's basically what you're feeling there. But we all get it.
That's my main. What?
Oh no.
Okay. But that's probably my main insecurity. I guess directing people with a lot of experience and on a much higher level. I guess can be very intimidating.
But at the end of the day, I would imagine that they're probably easier to direct because they know what they're doing.
And you always learn. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you get somebody that's inexperienced.
No, but it's a give and take. I wouldn't say inexperienced. I would just say less experienced. Like it's always like when people are coming up, I guess, but they're skilled and you can see that. Like I feel like you can mold them more, which is easier. But people who have been in the game for a long time, they kind of set in their ways. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. So, yes, they might know a lot, but they're set in their like to do. They know how to do it, and it might be hard for them to do things how you want to do it, or go in a different style, go in a different way. But for someone just coming up, they're just kind of happy to be in that position, be in that experience, and I think they're going to give you their best one way or another. So there's a difference, I guess, between working with somebody inexperienced or working with somebody who's just starting and eager, to prove themselves. The people who are kind of just starting and eager to prove themselves, that's kind of the kind of people that attract my eye to work with. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because they have if they have that hunger.
Yeah. And they're just easier to mold. They listen. Yeah. They listen more. And it's also always good to hear their input, and see how it can get better what you already had. So yeah.
Cool. So what films do you think have had the biggest influence on your filmmaking?
That's a lot. Jet Li films, for the most part. Jet Li has always been my favorite martial artist. The way Jet Li moves is, he's like, for someone so calm, so graceful, so beautiful, like his styles, I feel like he can make a style, again, like beautiful and deadly at the same time, but also, again, it's just like, it's like so fluid yet so powerful. It sounds almost contradictory.
No, I get what you're saying.
Like most people are.
Sorry, it's the delay.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, it cuts off. No, I was agreeing with you. I was always more of a Jet Li guy as opposed to Jackie Chan.
Same.
I love Jackie Chan, but
same. No, nothing. Yeah. I love Jackie Chan, but Jet Li, I don't know. Like, again, like Jackie Chan, I just like choreography that makes you go ooh, like makes you feel that. Like that guy got punched in the face, man. I feel that. Like, I'm the person in the theater who, if I see a good fight scene, I'm kind of like reacting towards it, and that's fun to me. But like Jackie Chan, Like his fight scenes are so fun, so intricate, so respectable. But at the same time, there's few Jack Chan fight scenes. I guess because maybe just so beautiful and fluid, it just doesn't make me feel like, man, that really hurt. I remember also, you know,
Well, I think a lot of that is because a lot of Jackie Chan's films skew towards comedy.
yeah.
Like, I don't think he's ever done anything that isn't comedy.
I mean, he's
Where-
done in his older age now. He's done some darker films, but just the style. It's just that his acrobatic style. It's definitely again, it's fluid and beautiful, but at the same time, like when jelly hits you, like it's like beautiful death. It looks like it hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he executes it so well, and I don't know. It's just that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Same thing if you're familiar with Donnie Yen.
You know what? You know what? It's embarrassing to say, but the only Donnie Yen I've seen is in Star Wars.
I knew
I
you
haven't
were
watched
that
him.
Force Awakens, but I just saw like his style is so beautiful, so fluid. But that guy, like his,
Well,
you can tell his moves hurt.
yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Rogue One didn't fully show him off like what he can do. Like
No,
I
but
felt
I did appreciate his scene though. His main fight with the stormtroopers, I did appreciate that a lot. It was well done.
yeah, I felt like he was wasted in that movie.
I wouldn't
Like,
say wasted. I wouldn't say wasted. I mean, maybe not. I mean, a lot of people wanted him to have a lightsaber. Obviously, nobody had a lightsaber besides one select end. But
I didn't need that. I felt like he could have had more to do in the movie. Like I felt like he was just kind of there.
I mean, I can see that. But I there's a lot of characters. I appreciated what he was there. I feel like he was not wasted. You know what's wasted? What I consider and the Force. What is it? The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah,
They
they
had
had the
the
raid guys.
two raid guys. They had the two raid guys that wasted. What did they do? Absolutely nothing. I'm eating.
Yeah, I really
So-
hope they bring them back in the new one, just so that
I mean,
they
it's
can.
not seen, so they could be alive, but I don't think so. That
None
is
of them
complete
died.
waste. What?
They didn't die.
Yeah. But it's kind of hard to pick out. But yeah, but that's completely wasted. Donnie Yen, he actually did some stuff.
Yeah.
Eco, another guy, I forget his name. They did nothing but talk and nothing. Like, what was the point of casting them? This is my point in filmmaking. When you know what somebody can do and you can get anybody for a specific role, why get somebody who's so skilled and not show some of that skill? You know, they could have got
Yeah.
literally anybody, any exotic looking person to play some pirates or whatever who could have fight because they're not fighting. Like, why pick great, like, you know? That's what
Yeah,
people,
that was a weird decision to me too. I
That
mean,
doesn't-
that's why they really need to bring them back in the new one, just
Yeah,
so
I
we can
understand
see them
maybe-
do something.
to get some audience members in, but I think that was a surprise. I don't think they really told in. I don't know, actually, no. I think I heard that they were in a movie. I did hear before they were in a movie. So maybe just
Yeah.
to get some, it might have been a cheap way to get some martial arts fans to see the movie, which is cheap. But
But that doesn't make sense either, though, because everybody's going to see Star Wars for
exactly.
Nobody's
But
going to see Star Wars because there's two guys from the raid in it. Like,
Exactly.
this
I
is a
don't know.
movie that most people have not seen.
I'm just trying to rationalize what's the point of wasting such talent, especially this day and age in the action world, Hollywood or wherever. Most people reference the raid and saying, "Oh, we're trying to raid style action," because I feel like it's just become the standard since everybody's seen. Like every couple of years, or maybe like every 10 years, there's always a movie that changed everybody's mind. Before the raid, it was Bourne, which became like the death of action in Hollywood. Thank God we're moving away from that. Bourne
Yeah.
influenced everything because they're like, Bourne was actually well done. Every filmmaker, pretty much every other filmmaker took what was Bourne and just twisted it into like, oh, this is an easy way to show that actors who can't fight, or even actors who can fight, I don't know, they didn't. No other filmmaker executed that style right, which I think is strange.
I
Like-
never liked it. I was never a fan of the Bourne movies.
I mean, I
thought it's
hated
just-
it when I first saw it, but after watching Born a couple times, I learned to appreciate it only in Born, but everything else.
Yeah,
But,
I
and
thought
before,
those movies were boring.
yeah, I like it. I was actually watching Jason Bourne the other day.
Maybe I
I
need to
like the
watch it again.
maybe. I mean, it's one of those movies. It has to grow on you because again, I was so against Bourne when I was younger. I hated it, but after watching it a couple times, I'm like, these are actually pretty good movies. But yeah, and before Bourne, it was The Matrix. Obviously, everybody wanted to be The Matrix, so that
Yeah,
became the standard.
and I guess Old Boy didn't have like the massive impact that it probably should have.
No, but a lot of people did were getting into one take fight scenes after Bourne. I mean, after Old Boy, a lot of people try to do, but it's not. It's like it had a small impact, smaller scale impact than the movies I'm talking about. Like it definitely had an impact. Obviously, stuff like Daredevil, it became a thing every season to do a crazy one take fight scene. Pretty much every big one take fight scene in recent times, probably partly inspired by Old Boy. So
Oh, it's gotta be. I mean
yeah,
that's one of the greatest like fight scenes of all time. The
yeah,
hallway scene.
yeah.
And then the Spike Lee one came out, and I was like, ugh.
I stayed far away from that. I saw the fight; it was okay, but
But they did clever edits to show that it wasn't like to make it look like it was a one take, but you could tell like they'd
Dare,
go behind the stairs so they could get
Daredevil,
that edit.
Daredevil, Daredevil season 2 did the same thing. It was well done. Yeah, so it wasn't one take. Yeah,
Yeah.
Daredevil 2 did the same thing,
Yeah.
but that was well done. So I'm not
Yeah.
hating.
Yeah, I have a hard time with most of the action films. Like, they gotta. It's not like because for me, I watch a movie more for characters than anything else.
Yeah,
So an action movie really has to like blow me away for me to
yeah,
get into it. So something like The Raid, like those two
yeah,
movies blew me away.
yeah. And again,
Yeah.
those movies, even though like the Raid one, it's kind of like a horror movie. The way it started out, like it was kind of scary. Like as they started losing bullets and they were trapped and they didn't know what was going on in the dark room, everybody's getting killed around them. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah, I guess.
had a lot of horror elements. Like there's one scene with them in a wall. The guy's putting a machete in the wall. Like
Oh yeah, when they're hiding behind
yeah,
it. Yeah.
like again, horror and action I think go together pretty well. It's something that should be explored more. I think.
Depends what kind of horror you're trying to do. Like it works with a more like a slasher style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely slasher. It
Yeah.
depends. But I feel like you can do a lot. You can do a lot.
Are they going through with the American version of the Raid? Because I heard about that.
Yeah.
I
I
hope
mean,
not.
apparently they're going with Frank Grillo. Of what I've heard, last I've heard, I don't know. It could be in development hell forever. I mean, but why?
That'd be fine. It doesn't need to be made.
It really doesn't. Just watch the original.
Yeah,
If you
it's not.
really hit
It's not a movie you're watching for the dialogue anyway.
you're really not. Even though saying scenes, I thought he did a good job acting, but it's really not. Like if your titles that much, watch it dubbed. Even though the dub is not good at all, watch it. There's not that much dialogue. So
No, no, it's all about the fighting in that movie. I can't even tell you what the plot of either one are. I know it has to do with drugs and some dude's brother getting caught up in shit, but like other than that,
it's a lot of things.
It's there for like the one scene that always sticks out to me in the first one was where the door gets broken. The guy falls and his neck goes into like the
Oh
splinters.
yeah, that's like
wood
one of
of
the best
door.
parts. Yeah. That's actually one of the best parts. Like he's beating up the guy, the door gets broken, and he grabs the guy's head, jumps back, and slams his neck into. Yeah,
Yeah, that was that fight scene. That was probably my favorite scene in the movie. Yeah, I have to watch it again.
There's a lot of nice character moments because even when he does that, you see that he's not heartless. Like that even grosses him out, and he's like, it's not like he wanted to do that. It's just he did it out of a necessity. So I feel like there's a lot of character moments in that.
Yeah. Is there any other hidden gems that maybe somebody like me wouldn't know about?
Uh,
Like newer stuff?
oh, newer?
Yeah.
Newer? Okay, newer. How new? Say like,
I'm just saying, like, other than that, last, like, 10, 15 years. Something that, like, maybe went under the radar, kind of like The Raid.
okay, hmm. I actually saw, man, I forget the name. I saw this movie quite recently. Uh, it's not gonna help you much. I, I really forget the name. It's just, but it's a movie. It's a Korean movie that takes place, I guess, in feudal Korean times, and it's pretty much action. Like, have you heard of Train to Busan?
I keep forgetting to watch that. I hear it's really good. I'm just so tired of zombies.
Honestly, I think I love zombie movies, but and I love Korean movies. I think the movie is overrated. But
Okay.
this movie to me is it's fresh. Like, I don't know, like the setting, maybe the set stuff they do, it's pretty cool. But I think like they reference that movie a lot. So if you look, if you search certain things like Train to Busan or just zombie action movie, it's this year. It's current. It's not bad. But let me see. Speaking of, there's a Japanese movie called Versus. I don't know if you heard of that. It's made like 2002. It's pretty cool.
Uh,
It's like it has a lot of things. It has action, it has swords, it has zombies. Like the main guy, he's like a boxer slash judo expert. So he does boxing and judo. It's interesting. And again, like they're in a forest that resurrects people. So eventually the zombies. And again, like it takes some inspiration off of Highlander. So like there's like you've seen Highlander, the first Highlander?
you know what? That's one of those movies that I should have seen and I've never
Wow.
watched. I know
Okay,
the quote, but
so you won't get the reference. Like there's a scene in Highlander, like before the two main guys enter the final battle. Like the guy's like building a sword. Like they do a scene just like that. Obviously, and it's cool. Has a lot. It's a great action movie. Great Japanese action movie called Versus.
first. Okay.
It's low budget too, but it's well done. It's well done. It's very bloody, very funny too. It's a lot. The movie's a lot of things. It's a lot of things, and I really enjoy it. Cool soundtrack too. But
That's
there's
what I always like to pay attention to.
yeah. There's a lot of fun to be had. A lot of electric guitars, different metal. Like it's interesting. It's well again. I can say a lot about this movie because there's so much in this movie. It's a good time. It really is. For an old Versus, yeah.
Okay.
Versus.
Now is that verses like Bible verse or verses as in one to one?
RS, yeah, Versus like versus each other.
Okay.
Like
so
Batman
yeah.
versus Super Versus.
Okay.
Like a fighting game. Like a fighting game. Him versus him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, they got that new Mortal Kombat coming out that looks pretty sick.
You talking about the game or a movie?
Game. I don't think they're gonna
yeah.
make a movie out of that for a
They
long
keep
time.
saying that, but again, it's been in development for how long? But
Who knows?
honestly, the game, at least the last Mortal Kombat, has one of the best story modes I've seen or played in a long time. Because the choreography is like well done. Again, it's like watching a movie, but you're playing it. Like they put a lot of thought into the cinematic scenes of Mortal Kombat. So whoever did that, hats off to them because again, choreography wise and it's entertaining. Very well done.
Yeah, I haven't played any of them in a long time. It's I have to get back into it. It's one of those things. Fighting games, I enjoy them, but like I'm not really
A lot
ready
of people
to
can't.
drop $60 on a fighting game.
A lot of people can't. I mean, I'm just not ready to drop $60 on any. And I love fighting games. Like I just don't. Gaming is just another thing in itself. I don't like the way games have been for like the past 5 years.
Oh, it's awful.
Like I don't like how they killed all the smaller indie game companies. I don't like how every game nowadays is basically a blockbuster. I don't like how all these games they release knowing they're incomplete. I don't like how uh playing next to an actual human being is so discouraged. It's like
Yeah.
that is so much good memories is me playing with somebody right next to me.
I know. And really,
I have
Nintendo's the only way you can do it now.
no, I mean I still do it. Like me and my brother, we still get together, play PS2, some classic games, and
Yeah.
still get that feeling. Like again, it's not the same. Yes,
No.
it connects people all over the world, but again, it divides the people close to you. Like I'm telling you, like
I've
there's nothing beats local co-op. Local
I've never had the same amount of fun playing online as I have playing in the same room
local
with other
co-op,
people.
sitting there screaming, leaning forward in your chair, throwing your
Yeah.
remote out the window. You're like, come on, like you can't get that anywhere but the co-op.
Oh man, I really missed it. It's so much fun.
It's
I should like have a game night, like get a bunch of
that's
people together.
that's honestly a big make or break for me buying a game. Like, have you heard of the game SSX?
Oh, SSX, like the tricky games.
Snowboarding?
I had
Snowboard?
SSX tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one of the greatest games ever. PS2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
SSX for Xbox 360, I think it's PS3. It's called SSX. No co-op. I'm like, how? That game is no local co-op. It's like online co-op. But like that game was so big on split screen co-op, but they're like, oh no split screen. Like it's come on, like they really could get away to split screen. Like it's I don't know. I have a
Such a
lot to say on the
shame.
game. It's a little off topic, but I have a lot to say
No,
about that. I'm gonna stop.
no, it's bullshit what the industry's
It
done.
is.
I mean, everything about video games nowadays is not intuitive. Like my Xbox. I have an Xbox One, which I should have got
Yeah.
a PS4. I know. But like some days I just want to sit down and play for like an hour. I
Mhm.
turn on the Xbox, there's an update. And now I have to wait for like a half hour for it to update. And by the
Yeah.
time I don't even want to play anymore.
You don't want to play anymore. You don't want to play anymore. Yeah.
And most of the games come out, they're completely incomplete. You have to
Exactly.
spend
Yep.
$1 million on microtransactions for it to
Yep.
be palatable.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Gross.
I'm not for it. That's why I haven't bought a system in like since Xbox 360. So
Yeah, I do need to get a PS4 because I want to get all of my old PS2 games because I got rid of my PS2. And I want to get all those on PS4. Plus,
wait, they're backwards compatible?
no, not necessarily, but like they have a lot of them on the
Store?
yeah in the store. So I'd probably just go binge and buy a bunch of them.
Okay, that makes
Like the
sense.
Jack series, I love that game.
Funny, I think I played them a little bit, but not a lot. It's probably as popular as that is, because I'm a big Sony, big PlayStation person, and that's one of the
Yeah.
biggest games. Yeah,
Those, yeah, I miss those. Those kind of platformers also died, like the 3D platformer. Like you
Yeah.
get plenty of 2D platformers, which are great. Like I love Ori, which there's a new one coming out, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Super ready for that game. But those 3D platformers, like aside from like maybe some of the Mario ones, like they don't exist anymore.
not really. People are more into open world type things.
I don't have the patience. I don't have the time for those open world games. Like
That's the main thing why I don't get games anymore. Time.
Yeah.
I don't have time. I don't understand how grown people have the time. Like I don't. I really don't. If I did,
Yeah,
I'd buy it, but I don't. I really don't.
it's got to be something real special for me to buy it. Like really special. Like the reason I need a PS4 is because the new Final Fantasy VII remake's coming out at the end of the year.
But yeah, that's been taking its time.
Yeah, and that's an exclusive to the PS4 initially.
Yeah,
So I
makes
need
sense.
that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it looks good though.
that I'm interested in that new Star Wars one. Because
The Knights is that Knight game, the one that they've been promoting.
what is it? Fallen Order is what it's called.
I forget what it's called. I didn't watch any of the trailers, but I've been seeing like snippets of all these promotions for it.
Well, the trailer is just it's just like a cutscene kind of
Oh.
trailer. You don't see any actual gameplay,
Oh.
but there's no multiplayer. It's a completely single player game. There's no microtransactions. I think it's going to be like an open world, and they said it's like a Dark Souls style of gameplay. So, I mean, I never played Dark Souls, but I'm interested.
Neither have I.
What?
Neither have I. Neither have I.
Yeah,
I
I
never-
hear it's really hard.
Then again, hard is relative. I've heard a lot of people say Resident Evil 4 is really hard or the buzz, but I had a great time playing that game.
Well, the thing is, Dark Souls that's the whole thing, is that it's really punishing. That's what it's made to be. Like,
Oh.
which to some degree is cool. Like, I recently was trying to play Ninja Gaiden again.
Yeah.
That game was hard.
I've never played a game, so I like the character Ryu Hayabusa, but yeah, I never played.
That game is punishing. Like, it will chew you up and spit you out. I still can't beat it.
Wow. Probably because I was always a Sony person too. That's why I never played any of the older Ninja Gaiden games.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was originally on Nintendo.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
well, it used to be like a Super Nintendo game.
Oh,
and
okay.
And then they made a new one for Xbox that was like a 3D.
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's about it. We covered quite a bit of ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered what we needed to cover, I think. So can you give people some info on where to find you, where to look up your films?
Okay. My YouTube page is LionClaw77, and my Instagram is ThatLion77. And you can either find the videos on my YouTube page, or sometimes I post clips on some of the videos on my Instagram.
All right, and I'll put them in the show notes. All right, that's episodes 6 or 7, one of the two. I think it was 7 of Impostor Syndrome. And just later, send me a headshot you'd like me to use for the video, for the thumbnail, and then those links, and I'll put it in the show notes, and we'll be all
A
set.
thumbnail myself? Or
Well, like if you have a headshot or something.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it up in probably 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you.
Or next week. Yep. All right. I'll see you later. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for answering me.
Yeah, it was good.